Well, that's it. It's the end of an era. Yep, it's all over. The buffalo plaid flannel, it's gone. It's three sizes too big for me now, so I gave it to my brother. Despite the odds, I somehow got old, so I finally decided to take my health more seriously. In fact, I lost like 22 kilos, that's 50 pounds in less than a year. So, how did I do it? How can you succeed at your fitness goals? I'm not an expert, but here are 5 generalized tips based off of my experiences. The first thing you got to do is find your motivation. You're never going to commit to a plan of action and actually meet your goals if you aren't motivated to do so. Uh, for me, it came in several forms. First of all, my wife joined the gym, started working out, started nagging me to do the same thing. And I actually started working out at home a little bit. And then I joined the gym and I got a personal trainer, and things progressed from there. Worked out really well. Another thing that was a motivator for me is I watch way too much YouTube. So I started watching fitness stuff on YouTube. I started watching things like strongman competitions, just to get me interested in getting stronger and fitter. Additionally, once I joined the gym, they had fitness classes, 1 hour fitness classes, and being part of a class with other people that really motivated me to put more effort into things. And then later on in the winter, the gym sponsored a weight loss competition over 2 months. So that really sparked my competitive nature. To focus that motivation, you've got to have some goals. Now, you want to be specific with these goals, whether it's lose a pound of weight a week, something like that. A specific goal with a timeline will help keep you focused. Once you've got that timeline and the specifics nailed down, you got to check your progress regularly. For me, that was in the form of an in-body scan to measure not just my weight loss, but the actual amount of fat I was losing. I also used MyFitnessPal. It's an app. There are lots of other apps to help track my calories and to keep track of my weight. And that was another piece of information I could use to tweak everything as I went along. Now, I did use a scale as well, and I tried to measure my weight at the same time every day, but I also understand that weight fluctuates up and down with water retention and whatnot. So I only looked at that as an average. But it is another tool that you can use. Just don't go crazy when you're up a few pounds one day. Also, as you progress, look at that data, tweak your goals as necessary. Maybe you're not losing as much weight as you'd like, so you talk to somebody, see if you can lower your calorie consumption a little. Maybe it's going better than you think, so you can change your timeline. One of the things I specifically noticed, look at this graph, weight loss seems to gain momentum. I've noticed this with my wife too. After you've lost some, you start losing it faster. I don't know if your body gets used to it, if your brain just finally gets on board, or what it is, but it does seem to have momentum to it. Well, to meet these weight loss goals, you're going to find that 90% of the battle is diet. I'm going to tell you right now, don't count calories. Actually, that's a bit of a misnomer. What you want to do is plan your meals ahead of time. Once that food's already in your mouth, it's too late. What's the point in counting those calories? If you plan each meal ahead of time and already know how many calories you're going to consume, it really helps eliminate the overeating. Now, in order to succeed at this, you're going to have to measure your calories very carefully. The weight of the food, you're going to need to check the labels. You need to understand that the calories are very brand specific on any prepared type kind of food. And it's also a good idea to double check those labels. Sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes they don't count things as soluble fiber as calories. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with this, but just try to be as accurate as possible. Again, as I mentioned before, I was using the MyFitnessPal app, or use any tracking app you want, which is something to keep track of my calories daily to make sure I was staying on track. And I put them in before I ate the meal. I put everything in for the whole day to see how things totaled out. I also did pay attention to my macros, make sure I was getting enough protein, and I found that lowering my fat helped, mostly just because it's so calorie dense. I could get more volume of food if the fat was lower. Now that you've established your goals and you're tracking your progress, you need to stick to it. There are several ways to establish accountability. that I found helpful. For one, you can involve a spouse or a friend, checking in with them regularly. They can be honest with you, tell you how you're doing. Maybe you're into social media and stuff, and you can post stuff online in a group specific to that thing. General public might be a little annoyed with you, but if it's the appropriate audience, it might help a lot. Again, there are calorie tracking and exercise tracking apps that can help you. If you're honest with yourself, you can look back at those and see, okay, this was a good day, this was a bad day, what do I need to change? That's helpful. And if you can afford it, a personal trainer can be a very useful tool. They bring not only their expertise, but they will help hold you accountable. You're paying them to be mean to you, right? And finally, in order to make this a long-term sustainable thing, at least over 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever it takes to meet your goals, maybe change your lifestyle for the rest of your life, you got to do something to really help you stick with it. And for me, that was to make it my hobby, at least for, 8 months or so. How do I focus my energy into making this a hobby when there's other things like woodworking I'd love to be doing? Well, I really had to be honest with myself and say, really, what are you doing with that couple extra hours of time in the evening? Probably sitting on your rear watching YouTube. I watch way too much YouTube. I made going to the gym and eating healthy kind of a hobby for myself, challenging myself to stick to the plan. I also, like I said earlier, I incorporated listening to or watching YouTube videos when I was doing cardio or whatnot about fitness subjects. Just something about that subliminal messaging, getting focused on those things really helped. In summary, find your motivation, have specific goals, don't count your calories, plan them ahead, seek accountability, and make it a hobby. So, I hope this information is helpful to somebody. Again, I'm not an expert, but this is just general tips to help you find success with your fitness goals. Thanks for watching. Funny story about that flannel. Gave it to my brother. He took it because it's a really nice flannel, right? I didn't want it to go to waste. It's all wool. Anyway, he takes it, goes home, starts mowing the lawn. His wife comes home, and as she's driving in, she's like, "Why on earth is Leif mowing my lawn?"